Good evening, friends. I hope everybody had a great day. I myself had a great day. I spent the entire day out with my friends. I started brunch, boozy brunch at noon, 12 noon. Not to get too off track, but blue laws are in effect in New York City. Blue laws, for those of you that aren't familiar, are laws that are only in place because of the government has decided to enforce old religious ideas. For example, the idea that you shouldn't consume alcohol on Sunday because it's the Lord's Day until a certain time, which is the way it's reflected today. Can't purchase alcohol on Sunday prior to noon. So anyway, that's when we started our day, boozy brunch. It's now about 1 in the morning. But just had a steady day of slow, good drinking. I did what I guess I would call the trifecta today. We had beer and wine and cocktails and shots and sake today. It is, of course, the sake that I will be talking about a little bit today. I want to back up, of course, to kind of preface this little episode. Early in March, I went to something called Japan Week in New York City. It was in Grand Central Terminal, and there are a lot of Japanese restaurants, Japanese bars and sake makers, airlines that go to Japan, electronic companies that are represented there. It was a great event. My company was a sponsor there. And, so I had a bit of a part of it. And once I finished my day of working there, I went over to the sake section and I hung out with those guys that were working there at the time. Great people. I met a guy. I haven't asked if I can share his name on YouTube, but I'm sure he would love it because promoting is what he does. I met a guy named Tim Sullivan. He runs a company called Urban Sake in New York City. And he is a brand ambassador for different brands, various brands of sake. You can certainly check him out at urbansake.com. At any rate, he and I exchanged information. He's lived in Japan before. We spoke a little Japanese. He showed me some great sake, and I went on my way. So today, while I was out, I shot him a text message saying I am interested in drinking some sake tonight with my friends. I want to show them some good sake. And he didn't get back to me really quick, so I took my friends to Decibel, which is a place I've talked about on this channel before. And we did have some excellent sake there. But then, while we were there, he texted me and he said, tonight there is actually an opening of a new casual sake bar and Japanese restaurant called Asazu, and it was really close to where we were hanging out. It was perfect. So took my friends to Asazu, grand opening tonight. So we show up, I drop his name, we get a nice seat, and we start ordering food and sake. The sake was okay. It was not the best sake in the world, but it was fair, not bad. They had a good selection of decent sake. What really stood out to me, what really struck me, was the food. It was good izakaya food, and so if you're not familiar, an izakaya it's like bar food, sure, Japanese style bar food, a little bit greasy. But an izakaya is a lot more intimate than a bar. You might get a little room with your friends, and they'll bring you beer, and then bring you snacks and food. We had, what did we have? We had gyoza, and we had takoyaki, which is, if you're not familiar, like pancake batter with octopus meat in it. Seasoned with fish flakes and sauce and mayonnaise. Delicious. It sounds maybe weird, actually, now that I'm saying it out loud, but it's fantastic. Gyoza is, of course, dumplings. We had both pork and tofu. And we also had gyudon, which is thinly sliced slices of beef on rice, of course, with sauce and onions. Anyway, just wonderful, greasy Japanese bar food. It was totally delicious, and the experience was fantastic. Following that, we went to a place called Angel's Share, which is another Japanese bar. Actually, it's a Japanese speakeasy. You go into a bar through an unmarked door to get there. It's really cool atmosphere, great paintings on the wall. This is on the Lower East Side, the East Village in New York City, in the neighborhood called St. Mark's is where you'll find the speakeasy. In case you're looking for Angel's Share, look it up on the internet. It is on Yelp. I'm a Yelper too. If you are interested, leave a comment and find my ratings and reviews of places on Yelp. That's not interesting. Let's see, do I have anything else to share? Great sake in New York City. I had a good time with my friends, steady drinking. I guess the sponsor of today's show, even though it is the evening, because I have spent my entire day drinking, well, let's say Nirvana, naturally green water, will be the sponsor, in partnership with Tylenol Extra Strength to make sure that you don't have a hangover tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support and your subs. I am Arrowjero of the Arrowjero channel, and let's do this again tomorrow. Have a great night.